And now, another episode of Crit Camp Gaming.
Hello everyone, happy Monday. It is April 25th, 2022. Welcome back to the best camp on Twitch. Oh, and thank you so much for the resub, Evil Ed, right off the top. I'm Lyle, that's Matt. I'm glad that you guys are here. We are going to do something a little bit different than our usual Monday nights. Usually we're just playing Arkham, but we have finished our Edge of the Earth campaign, and we're about to start a new campaign, but we're not doing that tonight. We'll start that next Monday, hopefully, fingers crossed. And what's really cool about, there's two things that are actually really cool about what's happening next week with Arkham. One is that we're playing another fan-made campaign, something that Matt and I have been sort of itching to play for a while, and I'm really, really pumped about it. It's the Pokemon Eldritch Edition, which is going to be pretty awesome. Like really freaky Pokemon that we can catch and tame and do all that good stuff. But the other really, really cool part is we're going to be playing three-man, so three investigators with our good friend Dylan, which he has been on the stream before, and I'm very excited to play a campaign with three people. And thank you so much for the resub, ETG. Thank you for that. Matt, how have you been, man? How was your week?
Good. Not bad at all. I got my hands on this Kickstarter I didn't know happened, and I found it for like cheaper on eBay because it's like one of my favorite IPs. It's called Bloody Palace. It's Devil May Cry 5, the board game. Okay. It's from Steamforged, so I was a little hesitant after the whole Dark Souls situation, but it ended up being really fun. It's faux co-op, like, so you're trying to clear these floors together as a team, but really you're hoping your allies mess up because it's all about scoring. It's like the longer and more involved combo you do, the more points you get. And if you ever get hit, you lose your combo. If you ever die, you drop like a whole combo grade. So if you like Dante and Nero and Trish and all that from Devil May Cry, it's cool. So I got to play that a couple times in the last couple weeks. And that was one of my favorite things that came to pass in the last 7 to 14 days.
Nice, dude. I like it. So I gotta say, if you guys have been following my solo streams in the past couple of weeks, Chris got me hooked on a game that he gifted to me on Steam. Matt, I don't know if you're familiar with it. The game is called Return of the Obra Dinn, and it's a point and click adventure game. Are you familiar with this thing?
No, I've seen. I've heard amazing things about it, and I know that Yahtzee from Zero Punctuation has like actually said good things about it, which is a very rare thing for him. But I haven't watched a lot of it yet, and so I've been wanting to ask you how you felt about it, how cool it is.
Oh, okay. So I am into this game. I like it a lot, and so it took me a bit to when diving in because I went in completely blind. I didn't know what it was. I just fired it up, started stream, and just went right. And I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this, guys. I haven't vetted it at all. But I dig it so hard, dude. It's like so perfect. It's like low, like old school graphics. And the story is just bananas. So basically the whole thing is like I'm a detective. I get on this ship that like sailed from London in the 1800s, like trying to get to like the East Indies, but like the ship sort of just like disappears for a bit and then reappears, and then I join, like I get on the ship to find out what happened. Everyone is dead, and so basically there's like 60 people on a manifest, and I have to figure out like who is who and how they died, and if they died by the hands of somebody or some beast or whatever, all this other stuff. Then I've got the special like pocket watch that basically lets me like jump backwards in time to like a single moment in time and like look around and see what happened at that moment. But all those times that I'm going through are all out of time. And so I'm trying to figure out where in time I'm in and what the sequence is. And then from like little bits of conversation I'm hearing in the past, trying to piece together what the relationships are between everybody. And so it's really, really rad. And it totally sucked me in. I like it a lot. So as part of my point and click adventure puzzle sort of thing that I've been doing lately, this is another one that's just like skyrocketing to the top of my list as like a favorite game that I've played. So if you're interested in it, man, I highly suggest getting it. It's like the way that it moves, it feels so old school, man. It feels so great. Just like point and click and moving around and exploring. So it's pretty cool. So that's the game that I've just been on my mind basically in the past few weeks, because I only stream it like once, maybe twice a week, but like there's so much in there that I'm like, I keep telling myself to remember things so that I don't forget. So I'm really pumped about that. But but going back to what we were saying in the very, very beginning, we were very excited about getting into a new Pokemon, a new Arkham Horror campaign, and particularly this one, the Pokemon Eldritch Horror Edition, which is why we're saying episode 0 in this title screen. We're going to jump into the game screen really quick and just give you a preview of what's to come so that you guys can get just as hyped as we are. And Matt can give you a little information just overarching about what this is going to be about. And then when we start it next week with Dylan, we'll go into more detail about the mechanics and all that stuff. We're not going to dive into too much detail now, but we did want to tease it for y'all because we know that we usually play Arkham on Mondays, and so that you'd want to see what's coming up, especially if you have no idea what these fan created campaigns are all about. And then after that, we'll jump into and play some Exceed, which I'm pretty pumped about too. So we're over at the game screen. Here it is. It's a fan-made scenario, Pokemon Eldritch Edition. Matt, where do you want to start?
Where do I want to start? So, let's see. Let's start. So let's start with the idea of the characters, right?
Yeah.
So you can play any character in this game, but any investigator. But there are 5 investigators that they made specifically for these campaigns. 4 of them are over here. One of them I have pulled down in front of my area to show you in a minute. But there's one for each color as usual. All of them have a theme that is, and abilities that, synergize with how this campaign works. So you can see even from here, the art, I think this art's like really cool. I don't know exactly where it's drawn from.
Yeah, I don't know where the art's from, but it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. The green character looks very anime to me, as does, well, I don't know. I mean, I just love the purple one. Wherever some of this art's chosen from, it's awesome. Which actually, taking that step is one of the things that is one of the biggest draws of this game. Is the art's crazy, and you have these really cool looking investigators, but one of the things that's biggest draw is the fact that all the Pokemon in this game have a very like scary stories to tell in the dark look to them. So yes. For example, I'll have you come up here just to give people like a visual representation. You can see that these are all level 0 cards, things that can start in your starter deck. And a lot of them are, your base Pokemon here. So you have your Squirtle, your Bulbasaur, and your Charmander. And they're all just horrific and creepy looking. And
so cool, yeah.
It just goes on from there. There's all kinds of crazy ones that you can get via XP. But this is kind of where the interesting component of the game ends up kicking in. And so if you want, we can come down to like my playmat down here real fast, and I'll kind of show an idea, right?
Okay.
So there's this guy, Maxwell Blue. This is the one that I'm probably going to be playing. The red investigator, his deal is I get an extra action each turn to activate abilities on weakness cards. Almost every Pokemon has an ability on its weakness side that this will synergize on. And that takes us to the next point, right? So here's a Machop up here, right? If I want to include this Machop in my deck, I build my deck with it, but this Machop doesn't go in. Instead, this Machop is subbed out for an Untamed Machop. Yeah. And it goes in your deck as a weakness, right? So as many as I have, if I have just one Machop, I put the Untamed in there. Just one. If I have 2, I can put 2 in there, right? And the way that this works is that I just defeat this enemy, it just dies, it goes to my discard pile. But if I make it tameable, and pretty much every Pokemon in the game, to my understanding, has a way to make them tameable, when I defeat them, they will then get shuffled into my deck. This version then will come back and get shuffled into my deck. If it has the keyword friendly, as this one does, it's actually one better and it goes directly into your hand. And again, to my knowledge, every Pokemon has it takes up one arcane slot and one summoner slot. I mean, an ally slot. One arcane slot, one ally slot. And so these are actually things you can incorporate into any campaign. There's a guidebook right here. If anybody was just really liked the idea of it, you can throw them into any campaign. But since we're playing the official Pokemon campaign, one of the things that you get is every character starts with these things called Summoners Codexes, which basically gives you 2 extra slots, one arcane and one ally to hold summons.
Nice.
On top of that, we can trade the Pokemon we get between each mission with each other, because some are going to be better for some trainers over others for some players. So this is really exciting. I missed this the very first time we were playing the game. I missed that during my setup, and this is a huge deal. So you could always buy a second one because it doesn't say unique, so you can do that. Also, if you buy just one Charisma, then that actually allows you to hold 3 Pokemon because you already naturally have...
Oh, you naturally have 2 arcane slots.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, that's awesome.
Exactly. So,
dude, you get so much value out of Charisma. Oh, man.
Yes, a single Charisma actually goes a long way in this campaign. Or you can get another one of these. So for somebody like my guy who actually has deck building requirements that I can start with up to 5 level 0 spell cards, I might want some spell slots. I might want a single spell slot to throw a combat spell too. So you have to decide if you want to juggle that. Now this campaign, I've only played the first mission and maybe I think part of the second. The story, it's a little lighter on the story, at least initially. But mechanically, what's so fun about it is this whole catchy Pokemon thing. And so every mission has certain Pokemon that are set, and then you'll have one of, I think it's 5 or 6 encounter sets. And it'll either be mountains, plains, water, whatever it is. You take an encounter set that has a certain amount of common Pokemon, 1 or 2 rare Pokemon, and then there's a deck of legendary Pokemon that every mission has 1 or 2 set ones and 1 random one that are super hard to tame, but if you get them, you can add that to your deck.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's sick. You do have to fix your deck size after each mission, so if you decide to keep Pokemon, you will have to shrink your deck slots.
Yeah.
But that then will lead to one other mechanic I want to mention. So you have what's called a trainer log, which is effectively just another part of your regular campaign log.
Yep.
But you record all kinds of crazy things there that are relevant. So again, I'm going to come down here to use Machop as an example, right? So this Machop I can include in my deck at 0 cost. If you look at his abilities down here, and if I decide to use him for his action ability, I can fight with him. And it does kind of a measly skill 4 +1 damage attack. Again, not too bad. It's +1 damage on a red card. He has really solid soak stats. But if I kill an enemy with it, I get to put in my campaign log, Machop won a battle. Well, why does that matter? What's that mean? Is it just for the story? Well, I'm sure some of them are story, but because this is a card that's not story related, this is a card that you can build your deck with, what happens is we can now look at the first XP form of him, Machoke, right? So if you read the very first line of Machoke here, it says you can only include this asset in your deck by upgrading it. Upgrading it. It says from Machoke. It means from Machop.
Yeah, I think it's from Machop.
That's an immediate typo. You can only upgrade it from Machop into Machoke. You can do it even if you haven't recorded in your campaign log that Machop is a champ. But if you do it that way, it costs 3 XP. It costs 1 more XP if Machop won a battle isn't in your trainer log. Then we have this other ability on Machoke. Again, if you knock out an enemy with it, you can put that he won a battle. If he does, well, here's Machamp. You can only include Machamp in your deck if Machoke won a battle. You can't even buy this otherwise.
Oh my God. It does
say that the XP cost from the previous one will contribute. So this guy only costs 3 XP if you're upgrading a Machoke.
Yeah.
But you end up with a 4/2 who has a base, who fights and doesn't exhaust, mind you. He fights with a base skill of 6.
Oh my God, he doesn't exhaust.
He doesn't exhaust. Exactly. And look how sick he looks, just super scary stories.
Dude, super scary. Also a little bit of Oh my god, what was his name? I think it was the Butcher in Kingdom Death Monster.
Oh yeah. Like the skulls like
Yeah.
on his cape, like the faces.
Yeah, the faces,
yeah.
dude.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, it's a really cool thing. There's a whole bunch of Pokemon that you can do this with, but in addition to all this, there's a ton that we're going to get access to in the story, and we can just kill them normal. You can basically completely choose not interact with this mechanic if you wanted to. But
Yeah.
it's kind of like why you're playing the Pokemon one if you want to.
Right.
The last thing I'll show you is like if you look at kind of my Pokemon or my investigators deck building requirements. I have under deck building requirements. I have one random basic weakness, and I also have the Unruly Hitmonchan and the Unruly Hitmonlee. So investigators will come with specific Pokemon in their deck, and so my two are out here. By default, these ones are already tameable. So if they die, then I can go and add them to my deck. Even if, and this is just explained in the area under the keyword tameable, even if one of my allies kills them, then it will go to my deck unless he didn't belong to anybody, in which case then he goes to the person who defeats the deck. In this case, because they belong to me, I can still get help from my allies. I can upgrade them. But they have secondary parlay abilities to, help you not get beat down too bad by these like 2 damage Pokemon.
Yeah. Totally.
But then once I do that, they become permanent assets down here that will be added to my deck that have some really, really great abilities.
Dude, this is so awesome.
It's pretty sick. I think that the idea of it's a lot of fun. One other core card that you have is you have this Conjuring Cube that there's a 2XP and a 3XP version that essentially you can pitch it and it gets extra question mark icons if you're trying to do stuff with Pokemon. But the main thing is if you play it, it lets you search the top 9 cards of your deck for Pokemon and store them on it. So it'll help you find it. And it's clearly the opened like Lament configuration from Hellraiser, which looks sick.
Yeah.
So it's pretty awesome, man. So I'm excited. Like that's kind of just the flash overview of what we're looking at. Again, the story. I'm not going to say much about that yet.
Yeah.
But they do. For those of you who might want to try this out without taking the time to build your own deck, each of the investigators does come with a pre-built deck that they've made. If you
nice. Yeah.
So if you when you load this mod, they put a little bag above each of the sections. Above the investigator section over here, you just click place to pull them out. Same thing next to the upgrade cards and the level 0 cards. That's how you pull out just these cards from the bag. You just click place. And
very cool.
Otherwise, yeah, you just build a deck like normal using normal Arkham rules, using what's on the back of the investigators in question.
Yeah, dude, I'm really pumped about this. There's so many things about not even playing it yet, just being sort of like in awe of. It's because it's like because you don't understand, there are so many cards that have been developed for this. I mean, these, I'm not even going to zoom in. I want these to kind of be a secret or a surprise for you guys for the upgrades. But like, look how many upgrades there are. These are unique cards for this campaign. And so unique investigators, a bunch of unique Pokemon on top of actually making the campaign and the story and all of that stuff. So like, to me, I'm just kind of just like the work involved in all of this, and then the art that was generated for this and how cool everything looks. Like, I'm just excited to play because it's just like, it just seems like such a colossal undertaking to do. And just with your explanation of the overview of the things, it's like it seems so perfectly matched. It's sort of just like you get to find Pokemon in the wild, you're taming them, right? You're putting them in your deck, then you can summon them, right? Then you like train with them, you can upgrade them, right? You can help your friends with them, you can trade. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's like taken straight from Pokemon, like the mechanics that are there, and then using them to fight and stuff like that, and then like importing it in here in a really creepy way that I'm just like, it feels like it shouldn't work, but it totally does. And the art really does help. like sort of sell this whole, Eldritch Pokemon thing. So I'm pumped, dude. I'm really good. And so, how many times did you say you've played through this, or you've only played through it once?
I've only played Mission 1 twice, and I played Mission 2 I think once. Like I haven't played through all of it. Right now there's 6 missions in the core campaign, and then there's 2 side stories that I don't think existed when I first did it. So like you can insert these side stories into the campaign to make it a full 8-parter, I believe.
Nice.
So I don't know much. I don't remember much about the story. I just know the very like core idea. One thing that I will say is like when you're looking at a lot of the Pokemon that you have access to right here, it looks like a lot of them just do various like variations of fighting. But I'll tell you from my recollection of the actual Pokemon that are in the campaign, the wild ones, they do all kinds of crazy crap. Like you can really customize your deck with all kinds of Pokemon who have all kinds of utility abilities, not just fighting. Mm-hmm. So we'll have to figure that out. Like the one thing that is really weird deck building wise is you kind of don't want to include any allies in your deck because the assumption is the Pokemon are going to take up your ally slots.
Yeah,
and
totally.
Spell slots tight too. So that's one thing is like you have to go in building these investigators differently, but they do give you the trade-off of that Conjuring manual. What was it? The Summoner's Codex right off the bat. So you do have the ability to be like going right away. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the overview. I mean it was really confusing to me at first. I mean the most confusing part is like if you just open up this mod and look at it, you're gonna be like, how the hell do I put Pokemon in my deck? And It's all just summed up on this first page. It's the way the wild summon keyword works is you build your deck with a wild summon, and then that just means it gets replaced with the weakness in question. And then as long as it's tameable, you can add it to your deck. And adding it to your deck during a mission doesn't mean you're stuck with it. I mean, you can just put it in there and then at the end of the mission be like, I want this Pidgey. I don't want this Rattata. I'm keeping my Bulbasaur or whatever.
Right. Yeah, it's rad. There's also rules, everybody. If you want to, I think, add Pokemon to other campaigns, right?
Yeah, that's what this thing is right here. It explains how you do it, and so like it'll talk about the different encounter sets and tell you like how many rare ones to use because there's like different pools. So I think there's a bag up here that says it's designed for adding Pokemon to existing campaign. So I think you could even just pull this bag out, and pull it into like your Dunwich campaign. And use it from my understanding. I haven't tried to do that with an alternate campaign yet, but this is where we find like all of the generic encounter sets and all that.
It's pretty cool, dude. I'm pumped. I cannot wait to build decks for this and to get in on here. Look at this Tentacool, dude. He's pretty rad.
That's like the water biome, the city biome. Yeah. It's gonna be real sick,
dude. Yeah, it's gonna be real good. Awesome. Yeah, all right, so I think that's probably enough of a little tease for what's gonna be happening soon. Matt, I, and Dylan are gonna take the next week to build decks and get really hyped, so that we can hit the ground running. Hopefully, starting next Monday. That's the plan. But stay tuned to our socials to see if we have to push that or anything, if anything comes up this week. But that's basically the preview of that. So consider this episode 0, us just talking about the campaign, and then next time you see us playing Arkham, it'll be scenario 1, the Conjuring. Very, very cool. I do want to say hey to Steph in chat. And also, it looks like Evil Ed is digging the creepy look of these Pokemon. And then we have some movie talk as well. People are excited about Doctor Strange 2, Top Gun 2, and The Northman. All right. I finally just saw Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm only like 18 months behind on that.
Dude, that movie I thought was great. Like, did you enjoy it?
Dude, I loved it. I thought it was great. And I still have to see The Batman is the next one I need to see.
I watched it last night, man, and I actually saw Ed's comment on Discord, and I was kind of disappointed because I liked it. Like I understand that it was really dark. It was really dark, man. It's kind of like it's like Saw crossed with Batman, but I don't know. It was different. It did it for me.
Okay.
Like but I'm hearing mixed reviews. Some of my friends were like, I know Ed wasn't the biggest fan, but I'm interested to hear what you think.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna watch it this weekend. I'm really or this week sometime if I have time. But I'm pumped. Everybody that I've talked to has been more on the positive side of it. So I'm excited to see what they did with it. So I'm finally getting caught up on all my comic book movies that I have not watched. Before we jump into to play Exceed, I do owe a bunch of spins here, and I owe like 3 from last week, and then when you do it, we have another 3 here. So I'm gonna try to bang these out really quick now before we go into Exceed. So here we go. The first spin is for Vulps. So thank you so much, Vulps. Oh god, and that is. Let me reduce the sound on that because that is obnoxiously loud. All right, and we got 5 burpees for Chris, which is great because he's got 850. Again, Chris is out this week for work. He's on the road for work, and this is the time that we like build up a bunch of burpees for him to do, so that when he comes back, he gets real sad. All right, the next spin is for Jonesy. Steph says we don't come here for Chris. Nice. Who's Chris? You know? Another 5 burpees for Chris. That's perfect. Let's keep these coming. And what's great is he can't ever complain about these because it's recorded, and then he puts it on YouTube later. The next one is for Mr. Draco. No, we all love Chris, Steph. We all do. My life would not be as fun without him. 10 push-ups for me. I'm up to 60 push-ups. We're not doing those tonight, everybody. I'll probably do them when I do my solo stream for Oberdin. We'll do a wheel spin for Evil Ed. All right. Evil Ed, thank you so much for the resub. He says, Chris, is that strange little bald dude? Yep. Luck of the Irish. 10 push-ups for me. It's all exercise here. This is kind of crazy. 2 more spins to go. We have 1 for ETG. And then I will sort of switch the title screen to show what we're actually playing. All right. This one is another 10 push. Oh my god. This really is all fitness. I'm up to 80 push-ups. And the last spin is for Dragon Cat. Thank you so much for the resub. Again, really appreciate it. Really appreciate all the support, everybody. Okay. I do also want to mention that, 10 burpees, perfect. 865. I was telling Matt before stream, and I don't know if you guys can hear it happening in the background right now, but everybody knows that I already have a cat, but what you guys don't know is that my wife and I rescued 2 more cats, and they're basically like twin boys. One of them just ran away, but here's one. Say hello. They're basically identical twins. Which one are you? Hold on. Look at me in the face. Look at me in the tail. This one's Nash. We rescued him, but he's actually gonna go with Casey's mother. She's coming to visit. And then we have another one over there named Malcolm. So if you hear something get messed up, if you hear them like wrestling, if you hear them like knock something over, that's what's happening back here. It's kind of like chaos. These like two little cats. They're both 7.5 weeks old. So we're taking them to the vet tomorrow to see that they're all healthy. I'm very excited. ETG says beans for the cat. Awesome.
Right on.
Awesome. Okay.